Yep.
The Daily Beast, Bernie did an interview with the Daily Beast. Now, I don't know if you know about the Daily Beast, but they trash Bernie on the regular, yet he also does an interview with them. I don't know what he expected. And then they totally gave a totally effed up headline to Bernie. Exclusive, Bernie Sanders says race contributed to why candidates Andrew Gillum and Stacey Abrams lost. Whites uncomfortable voting for black candidates. They go on a little bit more. Here's another one. I think you know that they quote Bernie, and they quote him out of context. I think you know there are a lot of white folks out there who are not necessarily racist who felt uncomfortable for the first time in their lives about whether or not they wanted to vote for an African American, Sanders told Daily Beast. So immediately, his press secretary, Josh, tweets this out and says what Bernie Sanders actually said was that DeSantis, Kemp, and Trump ran explicitly racist campaigns. Quote, Gillum ran a great campaign, and he had to take some of the most ugly and blatant racism that we've ever seen in many, many years. So you tell me, does that headline that they gave to Bernie, that headline they gave to Bernie, these are horrible headlines.
Shockingly so, yes. Totally out of character for the Daily Beast.
Right.
So Walter Bragman says, clickbait nonsense. Guys, you should issue a correction, though I know from experience contacting you about errors in some of Joy Reid's pieces that you probably won't. Shameful. This is clickbait. That's the definition of clickbait nonsense. If you thought Bernie was a racist, hey, Bernie's siding with racists. He's not calling them. I'm going to play this is the actual recording from the actual interview, the pertinent part. So let's listen to what Bernie says.
Numbers, specifically in places like Georgia and Florida, where it's quite difficult, and you had two candidates who were first-time potential African-American governors of those states. How difficult is it to be in that position when you have a midterm campaign led from the administration that is so heavily race-oriented? And, you know,
why don't we use the right word, not use the phrase race-oriented? Why don't we say racist? How's that?
Right.
So, first of all, Bernie coming out of the gate, straight shooting. Let's not say race, let's say racist. Did you hear him say that? Let's back it up.
That is so heavily race-oriented, and, you know,
why don't we use the right word, not use the phrase race-oriented? Why don't we say racist? How's that?
So there's the Daily Beast guy saying what Trump was doing was race-orientated, and Bernie corrects him and says, "No, we just used the correct word, racist."
Right. How difficult is it then? Is that what ended up with these margins?
I think so. I think that I was involved, in the.
So then they asked him, "Do you think that's how these margins happen? These margins of victory for these right wingers?" And he said, "Yes, I think so."
Campaign. I think it was a brilliant campaign. I think he's a fantastic politician in the best sense of the word. He generated an enormous amount of energy. He got young people involved in the process. He stuck to his guns in terms of a progressive agenda. I think he ran a great campaign. And he had to take on some of the most blatant and ugly racism that we have seen in many, many years. And yet he came within a whisker of winning. And I think, there are a lot of white folks out there, not necessarily racist, who felt uncomfortable for the first time in their lives about, whether or not they wanted to vote for an African American. I think next time around, by the way, it will be a lot easier for them to do that. But I think Gillum's campaign, and I think I mentioned this, while losing, Gillum lost, but he also helped to pass, and his campaign did it, the ballot item, which will bring back felons' right to vote in Florida. It's 1.5 million people, which is going to change the nature of politics into the future of Florida. That's what he managed to accomplish. Stacey Abrams, I think, also ran an extraordinarily good campaign. And we don't know what the final results are. We hope that in Georgia, they will respect democracy and count all of the votes. And we'll see what happens. But she ran.
And their headline was, "Hey, Bernie's racist." I don't know if you know. And so then this was the Bernie Sanders campaign had to put this out, or Bernie Sanders, press secretary had to put this out. He put out the whole that what I just played you. And here's David Corn. David Corn, is there a bigger disappointment in lefty media than David Corn?
Wow.
He goes, "Geez." So this is him doing the establishment. This is a hit job. So this is a hit job by the Daily Beast, and David Corn jumps right in on it. "Geez, Bernie Sanders, is this quote accurate? How is it not racist to not vote for an African American because you are comfortable voting for an African American?" Yeah, he's racist. Did you hear what he said? Maybe, David, you'd be more happy if he referred to them as deplorables and then lost to Trump again. Is that what you would like? So, again, but it's, I don't know what they expected from the Daily Beast, what they went there. You're not going to get a fair shake.
You know who sits on that board?
Tell them.
Chelsea Clinton.
Yeah. On the board of the Daily Beast is Chelsea Clinton. Anyway, so that's nice.
Well, do you see why now something like WikiLeaks needs to exist?
Yep.
Because of stuff like this, where you need a website showing original documents, showing untainted content because of situations like this.
This is amazing. So this totally misframes what he was saying, I think. Would you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Totally misframes what he was saying. We just had that. It happens to us all the time here at this show, so we could be pretty sympathetic to Bernie when this happens because people misframe what we say. For some reason, people love to do it. Just happened the other day. Somebody was saying we were telling people that we don't care if Republicans win. And it's just amazing. But we're very powerful.
Yes.
We're very powerful.
You think they'd be nicer to us?
You think people would be nicer to us? We have that kind of power. You think people? I'm saying, if you think Susan Sarandon has that much control of the electorate, maybe you'd suck up to her. But you don't think that, which is why you continue to shit on her. Because you scapegoat. You like to scapegoat people. Instead of the people in power, you like to scapegoat people with no power. Like people like me, a Jagoff nightclub comedian in his garage. You know the key to those elections in Florida, YouTube channels. Just so you know. Anyway, this was I don't know why, but what are you going to do? I guess Bernie does love the establishment media.
Well, this isn't the first time something like that happened to him.
It happens all the time.
It happened, yeah.
How about the Washington Post, 16 negative stories in 16 hours? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So this is we're already there. So the midterms are over. It's starting. So this is the establishment. They're starting to smear Bernie. And so it'll be either this kind of coverage or it'll be media blackout. It's one or the other. It's either going to be negative coverage like this or nothing. Just like Ed Schultz said, that the Clinton campaign was tied to the hip to Andy Lack, the head of NBC News, and they forbade anybody from covering Bernie Sanders' campaign. Ed Schultz broke that rule. They fired him. Phil Donahue fired for telling the truth about war. Ed Schultz fired for covering Bernie Sanders. Guess who didn't get fired? Everyone's still there. Interesting, right? Interesting. They played ball enough that they didn't get fired, but Ed Schultz got fired. Interesting. I find that interesting. Our next live Jimmy Dore show is February 1st in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a list of all our live shows, and please become a premium member if you can. Become a patron. It's the way we support this show because they're coming at us, and we give you bonus. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Check it out. Become a patron. And if you can, make sure you're still subscribed. They unsubscribe people every day. I know it sounds crazy. It only takes a second. Please make sure and click that bell when you subscribe so they'll send you a notice